Alright, welcome back to another episode of Class Haven Farms. Thanks for joining with me. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So today we're going to kind of talk about some of my firewood storage and how I store my firewood. I'll go over some of the stuff that's really cheap and expensive, and some of the stuff that's a little bit more expensive. You know, you do it however you want. Some people just stack it down on the ground. The only thing I don't like about that is it just rots my wood down on the bottom. So kind of go over a couple things, give you some ideas. As you can see, there's my buddy Ruby. This is our little beagle. Hey Rube, come here. Come here, Rube. She's looking, she's like, Dad, I'm looking for lizards right now. It's too cold for the lizards, girl. Come on. But Ruby's our little beagle. She's my buddy. She's always outside with me. I just got to keep an eye on her, because if she smells a squirrel or a rabbit, she's gone. So if I got to turn this thing off, it's chances are I got to go after this one. She likes to take off running. Good old beagle. Alright, so without further ado, let's get to this. The first and the simplest way that I do it, and the way I prefer just because it's cheaper, is just getting some pallets. Put the pallets down on the ground, and then get some metal T-posts. These are 6-foot metal T-posts that I got from Tractor Supply. They were on sale. I think they were $3.49 a piece. And I bought a bunch of them. I got a bunch of apple trees, which you guys will see a video on that here in a little bit. Planting them on the property, and I bought the T-post to put in the ground to put some metal fencing around it to keep the deer off my apple trees. So I haven't tarped these yet. I mean, I say tarp, you know, a lot of times people buy tarps. I don't like buying stuff if I don't need to. Probably get this from my grandmother, and anybody that knew Meemaw would know any way she could repurpose something or reuse it, that's what she would always do. And I definitely take after her in that. There's a lot of stuff out there I think we take for granted, we just throw away, and we can easily use it again. So as you look here, all I use is chicken feed bags, and I just cut them. I'll do a little quick demo for you here in a second. I'll lay those over the top, and then I have baling twine, and I just attach it. I had the idea, I had my neighbor had some bricks in his backyard from when his house was built. He bought the house after it was built, second owner, and they were just sitting in the backyard, and he's like, yeah, you can take them, whatever you want to do with them. And initially I was going to use them for putting underneath, and, you know, using blocks and just keeping it up off the ground. Well, I got the idea of just taking this baling twine that I have and tying it through the holes and just kind of using it as a weight. So as you can see, I just stretch it across there. It keeps both my tarps on there. Now the thing I like about using pallets is I can get 2 rows of wood, so that's 8 foot. And I'll stack it up anywhere from 4 to 5 feet up high. I don't like to stack it too high. I got 2 little kids, so sometimes wood piles can fall, so I really don't want it to be too tall for them. These were just some T-posts that I had, so I just try to run them right to the T-post. But you can tarp it, and at least keeps the rain, moisture, dew, anything just from getting down in the cracks all the time. It's not perfect, but it still gives you some airflow, just keeps it off. This wood has just been split, so if I put a moisture meter on it, it's going to be way high. But I'll do some of the other stuff, because I do have a moisture meter that I'll demo for you guys that I just picked up. Alright, the other way, if I could afford it this way and do it, this would be the way I would do it, is using IBC totes. So I picked up these 2 totes probably about a year and a half ago for $25 a piece. And I got this idea offline, saw it on somebody else's YouTube video. Basically cut this out so that I can get to the wood. This here is actually the bladder that was inside this, so this is one of the 330 gallons. I cut it at a diagonal so it kind of makes a triangle, and put it on as a roof. And all I did was I drilled holes here and just put a big industrial zip tie and just zip tied it right to the top. if I could afford this, this would be the way I would do it. This is the 330, that's the 275. But most of the places around by me want $50 a piece for these, and this might do a third cord of wood. So $50 to do that, when I can do that, it'll cost me, you know, a couple bucks. Or if you just have T-posts laying around, I mean, those pallets I didn't pay anything for. I actually got them from work. Got some guys that have shipments coming at work that have pallets, and all they're going to do is throw them out. So I don't care what they look like. If they're broken and falling apart, I'll just throw another board in there so they'll stay up. So that for me works pretty good. The reason that I do like these, one, it keeps them out of the weather and keeps the water off of them. But I had pallets that I got on my 790 John Deere. I got a pallet fork, and I can just pick that thing up. So that's nice. I did make this one. This was before I made the 2 IBC totes. I probably wouldn't do that again. I just had some extra shingles and stuff laying around, extra scrap wood. But I might get maybe 2 more years out of this. Some of that wood's pressure treated, some's not. But if I could afford it, I would do it that way. And I don't mind paying $25 a piece, but some of these people are crazy on Craigslist. No, they want $75 for stuff that's not even food grade. And I'm like, man, you got your damn mind. I ain't paying you no $75 for that. I'll just put some pallets up there and do it that way. The last thing that I have here is these these stackers. The plastic ones were made by a company called Easy Stacker that I got off Northern Tool. So you think about it, I bought those things. That's all pressure treated wood. And I will say this, that rack, that combo rack there, I've had that for 12 years now. So it has held up. These plastic ones though, this one's probably not, it's not showing it, but some of these plastic ones, over time they crack. I've had to throw like 1 or 2 away, but 12 years isn't bad. But if you think about it, this is an 8-foot section. I did buy these blocks. Sometimes I get them for free, but I bought those blocks plus the stackers, the wood, you know, it'd be anywhere from $40 to $50. And the bad thing is that's only one 8-foot, 4-foot section. So it's not a lot of wood. Where the pallets are pretty cheap. You can get pallets for free on Craigslist and online and things like that, or just going around talking to businesses. Now this was a 10-foot span. That's the thing that I do like about these, is you can make them different lengths. But these ones here are actually metal, and my wife found these on Amazon. And if I had to buy these, I would buy the metal ones because they hold up longer. Yes, Ruby, there's no lizards here. Because they last a lot longer. They're made out of metal. They have drainage holes and things like that in them so the water can get out. But again, it's on what you want to do. And as you can see, I tarped these too. And these bags, I mean, if you think about it, mulch bags, chicken feed bags, you're going to throw them away anyway. So why not just reuse them and use them up until they're brittle, and then you can throw them out, but at least you got some use out of them. So that's that. Let me go ahead, get this set up, and I'll demo cutting the bag and tarping it just so you guys can see how I do that.
Alright, so all you gotta do with these bags, cut them here at the top. And then just cut it long ways on each side. Of course, it's amazing. When you don't turn the camera on, they cut so damn easy. And then the minute you turn the damn camera on, you look like a moron trying to cut the damn thing. Well, I guess if you get me cutting myself, you can laugh at me. Send it into America's Funniest Videos and make a whole bunch of damn money off me. Because I'm a moron. Of course, now that I'm talking about it, it stops it. Figure it out, you know? But again, instead of spending money on parts, this is just a bag that we have for our water softener. So we would just throw it away. So instead of just throwing it away, I'm going to use it for something. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to keep all the water off. But it will help your wood season. And so it takes me, you know, a couple minutes of cutting it. To me, anyway, I feel like it's worth it. I guess that was one thing my grandmother and my grandfather always tried to teach us, is that you can always repurpose something. They never threw anything away. It was evident when we went up there to clean the farm out, to get everything cleaned out. And meanwhile, we found all kinds of stuff that was like from 1990. Mustard and stuff like that. She never threw nothing away, so we threw that away. But anyway, so you can kind of see it's laid out like this.
Alright, so now I have my 3 tarps here. Just kind of show you how I lay them out. This will kind of give me an idea for how many bricks I need. So if I lay this one here, it's kind of hard holding a camera trying to do this, but it ain't got to be perfect. I'll probably use all 3 of these on this back section. If it overlaps some, that's fine. So you look at it there. So I'll probably do, so I'll need 2 bricks there, 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. So now I'll show you how I tie my bricks up. Alright, so when I cut my baling twine, all I do, bring it out to about this far, cut it, take your brick, run a twine through it. Ruby, come here. It's just a leaf, come on. It ain't gotta be no special knot, just a regular knot is fine. Now I have this. And if you look, I've done this back row. It took me 3 of those salt tarps for our water softener, or bags of salt, but now that's covered over. All right, it's got a little bit of airflow. It's not going to pull that up. I overlap them a little bit so it gives you a little bit of room, and I always try to angle it that way so the water runs that way. And depending on how you do your wood, I mean, there's a pretty good gap, so it's still going to get a chance for it to dry out. And that's it. This is how these would look on the backside. But like I said, you're going to throw these tarps away after you get done using them. Why not use them for something else? And instead of spending money on tarps, I see people buy tarps all the time for their firewood. I mean, that stuff's there, and it's, like I said, it's keeping all the water from going down in. These are my chicken feed tarps that I get from the Amish store that I buy all my chicken feed from, which I'll probably do a video on again later. So that's that. I just picked up this multimeter. It's from US Stoves. I got it from Tractor Supply. I got it from them just because I was ordering those and a couple other things, and I had a 10% off coupon. So there's not a whole lot of fluff to this thing. It's pretty basic. You just turn it on. It's got a hold if you need to do that. It doesn't have anything else. I guess the biggest downfall that I could say about this thing, one, it doesn't feel like it's made that well, so we'll see how long this holds up, especially if you're one that's using it going out in the field and checking your wood before you load it up to bring it in the house. It doesn't have a lighted display, so you're not going to have that. So if you're somebody that is trying to see what their moisture is before they bring it into the house, this is, and it's nighttime, this is probably not for you. It's got an automatic shut off, so if you're not using it, it'll go off, so that's kind of nice. All right, so this is the stuff that's been in the IBC tote. This has probably been in there since, I would say, April. So let's see what it looks like. So here's a piece of poplar, and about 16%. And I got some oak in the back. This is a little bit more protected, and you can see she's about 21%. So that would be borderline. It'll probably clear itself up. Another piece of oak there, 17 back there. Just check this one and see what it looks like. 15 on the poplar there in the front. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to climb around in here. And this one, looking at it upside down, is 18. What you do is you just take these probes, stick them in there. All right, so that kind of, see what the difference is. This one's a little bit more open. So 14, 16, 17, so all that wood there is good to go. This has not been stacked here this long, plus we had a lot of rain last couple days, so this is probably gonna be pretty high. Oh, not too bad, 19. That's actually kind of surprising. This stuff has probably been here since April. So yeah, 42, and that's poplar, man. Poplar just definitely stays wet. Poplar is one of those woods, if you don't split it right away when you get it, it will rot itself out because it stays wet. But anyway, just kind of show you guys this thing. So like I said, it's from US Stoves. That's a piece of maple. Maple kind of dries out pretty quick. So not too bad. So if anybody's looking to do a review on that, there was no reviews on it on Tractor Supply's website when I was looking to buy it. But like I said, I had a coupon and I was already making an order, so I just went ahead and ordered it. So again, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you learned some things. Again, I'm just kind of doing this channel just to give people some ideas on things that I thought worked out really well for me. I'm not saying that the way I do it is the only way to do it. There's a bunch of different ways to stack firewood. But I have a lot of friends and family who are always asking me, because like I said, primarily, I mean, this is only one side of my firewood. I have a whole nother set of firewood in the back. And I've had some interest in these two, and this will be an upcoming video talking about the dump trucks. This one here was my grandfather's, so it's very, very special to me. It's a 1960 Chevy Viking. Was one of the last pieces of equipment to come off the farm before the farm was officially sold. A lot of rust to it, which is the whole reason why I picked this one up at an online auction, because this cab's a lot better. But I'll dive into that a little bit more. So if you're into old trucks, my game plan is to completely take that truck back to the way it used to be. I remember riding in that truck and getting firewood when we lived up in Westminster, because my grandparents' farm was in Sykesville. And I remember riding in that and falling asleep in that truck with my dad as he would go to pick up wood, and they'd split it off the old splitter that went on the 4020 John Deere. So a lot of good memories in that truck. I'm going to try to bring it back to life, and I'm definitely going to do it for my grandfather. It means a lot to me. So again, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.